I'll never forget our first night in the old house on Maple Street. My husband, Jake, was unpacking boxes when the doorbell rang. Through the foggy glass, I saw an elderly woman holding a pie. "Welcome, dear," she chirped. Her voice was soft, like wind through leaves. She wore a floral dress straight out of the 1940s, and her skin was so pale it almost shimmered. "I'm Mrs. Green, next door," she said, thrusting the warm pie into my hands. Before I could thank her, she vanished into the shadows. The pie was delicious, cherry with a buttery crust, but something felt off. The next morning, I returned her dish to the address she'd scribbled, 214 Maple. The house was a wreck. Rotting boards, shattered windows, a roof caved in by fire. A jogger stopped and frowned. "You okay?" "That place burned down in '78. Poor Mrs. Green died trapped inside." My blood turned to ice. That night, I dug through weeds in our backyard, flashlight trembling in my grip. There, half buried in dirt, was a cracked gravestone. Edna Green, 1899 to 1978. Jake found me screaming. We moved out the next week. Sometimes, though, I still smell cherry pie burning.
Rain lashed our windshield as my family drove home from Grandma's. My daughter, Lily, spotted her first, a girl in a soaked white dress, barefoot on the roadside. "Stop, Dad," Lily begged. My wife, Maria, hesitated, but the girl's hollow eyes made me pull over. She slid into the back seat without a word. Water pooled at her feet, but she didn't shiver. "Where to?" I asked. She whispered an address in a voice like static. The GPS led us to a collapsing farmhouse. "Here," she said. I turned to ask if she needed help, but the seat was empty. Only a puddle remained. At a 24-hour diner, Maria Googled the address. A waitress leaned over, pointing to a framed news clipping. "Local teen killed in 1965. Crash." The black and white photo showed our hitchhiker. "Her boyfriend's farmhouse was right where you stopped," the waitress said. "Lily cried all the way home. Now, whenever it storms, we lock the car doors." Our mountain cabin getaway was supposed to be peaceful. Then my son, Ben, met Tommy. "He's shy," Ben said, describing the boy in muddy pajamas who played hide and seek at dusk. Every evening, Tommy emerged from the pine trees, silent as a shadow. He'd wave but never speak. One night, I called the boys for dinner. Tommy stood frozen under the porch light, his clothes caked with dirt. "Your mom's waiting," I said gently. He stared past me, then melted into the trees. On our last day, I found a dusty box in the attic. Inside were sepia photos of a family. And Tommy, grinning in those same pajamas. 1949, the caption read. The cabin owner paled when I showed him. "Tommy Walters went missing here in '52. They never found his body." As we drove away, Ben rolled down his window. "Bye, Tommy," he shouted. From the woods, a faint giggle echoed. I floored the gas. Ben still asks when we'll go back. Never, I think. Never again.